If you haven't found what you're looking for, you should probably visit Reddit. You know what we mean, pieces of information and stuff, not girlfriend or boyfriend. Although Reddit has a dating site just for people who use Reddit a lot. The online community where you share all your hobbies, interests, beliefs, and jokes has also an adult page. So yeah, maybe you could find a date on Reddit. Even though it has started unsuccessfully, Reddit now has over 330 million users. Get ready to laugh and keep watching so you can see the 12 Reddit stories from the most simple-minded people ever. Number 12. Tammy. I had a boss named Tammy. One night, we were all working late doing a stock take, and we were discussing the impending lunar eclipse. Someone asked what happens during an eclipse. Tammy grandly explained that the eclipse would occur when America went in the front of the moon, blocking Australia's view of it. Like, she literally thought the Earth stretched itself into like a U-bend or neck pillow shape, and half of it stayed in our normal orbit, and the other half stretched itself over and around to casually block the moon for the rest of the Earth. Like our fella Albert Einstein said, two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe. Number 11, Drama Queen. This girl I used to work with before she got fired came to work with a broken arm and claimed her boyfriend pushed her during a fight and she fell. We were all super concerned for her until she came in a week later saying she stabbed her boyfriend in the hand during a fight to get back at him for breaking her arm. Then a few weeks later, she told everyone she was secretly trying to get pregnant because if she got pregnant, her unemployed boyfriend would have to get a job and help her pay rent. She got pregnant and her boyfriend immediately dumped her. What is going on in some people's lives? Although, with this kind of plot twist, it's a suitable story for the next Quentin Tarantino movie. Number 10. It is simple. My brother and I were in the kitchen one day as teenagers. My brother was filling the sink to wash dishes. When the sink was nearly full, he went to turn the tap off, but it wouldn't budge, so the water kept flowing. I tried turning it too, but with no success. This is when the panic set in. The level of water was rising fast, and we didn't want to flood the kitchen. He took a big saucepan out of the press to fill with water to keep things from overflowing, while I was in a frantic scramble under the sink trying to find the mains to turn it off there. I couldn't find it. Now, really panicking, I took over the pot filling duty and my brother went running off to look for Dad as quickly as he could. Dad came running in with my brother while we were shouting at him, looking for the mains. Dad just came over to the sink and pulled the plug out of the hole, letting all the water down the drain. It's really that simple when you think about it. The troubled kid. There was a troubled kid I went to high school with. He struggled with school but had friends. He was doing drugs and went down a bad way. He photocopied the front and backside of a $20 bill, cut it out of normal paper, and glued two halves with Elmer's glue. What's even sadder is that to test his new money, he went to the gas station and bought some gum, and it actually worked. So in his mind, it must have meant that it was foolproof. Then he tried to deposit the glued-up money in an actual bank. He was obviously found out and arrested. I don't know where he is now, but I'm assuming he is making similar life choices. Maybe he's in Hawaii, spending his fake money on cocktails. Number 8, nose job. I had a manager named Roxanne, Rocky. She was a bleach blonde. Literally bleached her hair once a month and then wondered why it broke/fell out. A bubblehead who only had the job because her dad owned the restaurant. Rocky was really obsessed with her looks and not much else. One day she told me, and a coworker, that she had her nose job done so that her eventual children wouldn't grow up with the same nose as her. And she wasn't kidding. The coworker and I just looked at each other and walked away. We knew it wasn't worth the effort. Maybe she also believes that if she stands too close to a heater, her nose will melt. Number 7, rare chicken. When I was in the Navy, there was a cook on my ship. He once served rare chicken. I genuinely couldn't tell whether he was trying to cover up his limitless incompetence or if he genuinely believed that rare poultry is a real thing. He was dumb enough to believe it. Another time, he just filled a pan with ground beef and called it meatloaf. Another time, he was supposed to make sugar cookies. Several hundred of them for the whole crew. He didn't bother to read the label on the container he opened, and apparently he didn't taste the batter at any point, and he actually made salt cookies. He used up all the remaining salt in the pantry, and we had unseasoned food for the remaining several weeks of the mission, during which the captain assigned someone to be the cook's bodyguard. Somebody should give this man a medal. He's ahead of our time. Number 6, New York. I worked on a hay press for about a month. Most guys had a high school education. One particular guy was telling me about a girl he was talking to on Tinder or some various dating chat app or whatever, when he said that she was in New York and that he wanted to go visit her. I told him that's pretty cool, and New York will be quite the change from our little hometown. He then asked me how close New York was. We were in Washington State. He had no idea New York was over 2,000 miles away. Well, guys, consider listening to the boring geography lectures. It pays off. Robbery, number 5. My friend's father robbed a bank in a small town in Indiana where he lived. This was in the late 70s or early 80s. He spent 10 years in prison for the crime. The same day he was released from prison, he robbed the same bank again. He was caught, and back to prison he goes. He did not learn in those 10 years not to rob any banks or anything in that matter. My friend was like, "This is what every father does," and he did not seem shocked over it. It is said that we learn from our mistakes. That's why he's making as many as possible. This man will be a genius. Number 4, police. One night during high school, my friend and I got invited to a party. I didn't drive back then, so my friend picked me up. All went well on our way to the party. On the way back, however, he got pulled over. As we pulled to the side of the road, I told him that I was going to pretend to be sleeping since I was the passenger. Anyway, I hear the cop get out of his car, walk towards our car, stops at the window, but didn't say anything. I can feel the brightness of his flashlight, but I don't hear him or my friend say anything. After what seemed like an eternity, I opened my eyes to see what's going on. That's when I see my friend, the guy who was driving, is pretending like he is sleeping too. Well, they tried to act natural. Number 3, Mars vs. the Moon. I worked as a limo driver for a while, and I once took a very rich lady to the mall in the afternoon. She looked up and saw the moon and said something about Mars being bright. I said, "Oh, you mean the moon?" She then said something about how I will be nothing more than a driver if I thought you could see the moon during the day. Can you guys believe it? Mars and the moon? Such a well-educated rich lady. Number 2, I have a friend named Rachel. Now, this one night in high school, we all got the munchies and went to get ourselves some late-night Sonic. While we pile into Rachel's car, even though we've heard stories about her bad driving, but that's another story. Anyway, she asks us how to get to Sonic, and we give her the directions, turn for turn, until we finally pull into the Sonic parking lot. Upon our arrival, she smirks and says, "Oh, I work here." Well, without stupid people, we would have no one to laugh at. So guys, take the time and thank a stupid person for their contribution. Number 1, Immortality. I work with a guy who honestly believes he will not die. He also believes that doctors are part of the system and that they lie to you for profit and personal gain. He believes in Eastern traditional medicine, however. And if you're interested to know his secret to eternal life, it's 6 raw eggs a day and a keto diet. Now we know keto is the key to immortality. Well, guys, these were 12 Reddit stories from the dumbest people ever. Which story made you burst out laughing? Tell us your opinion in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching, guys.